Hey, welcome my YouTube friends to my Lapbook Folio album part 4. Oh, I was tongue-tied for a second, but welcome my Scrappin Friends. All right, this is part 4 of my file folder album that I've been teaching you. And in the last class, we got our base pages made and got them attached. And we will be sewing these in. Okay, I'm going to sew here. I'm also going to sew here and here. And my last one I just done here, but I think I want to do the middle too to make it look more cohesive. Okay. All right, you can purchase the tutorial over on my website. I'll put the link down below. If you're just now catching this and you'd like to go back and see the complete walkthrough or part 1, I will put that links down below for you as well. When you purchase a tutorial, it's yours to keep forever. You have the cutting guide right beside you when we're working on this. And yeah, never know, I might do another one. This has been so much fun. I love messing around with file folders. And if you go to my playlist, I have a whole bunch, probably 20 some videos of different file folder albums. Okay. All right. So now we're going to work on finishing this aspect up. Okay, so you're going to need 2 middles and a top or a bottom. And I chose a top one. All right, so we're going to be making this little element here that opens up. It has a pocket here. Okay, pocket there. And then the piece that we cut off, we're going to attach those, and this attaches for a pocket. Okay, so first we need to make piece L. It's a top or a bottom folder. Or piece I and J is what we need to do. All right, so grab your trimmer. And again, I'm just going to trim off just where that starts to round, just to give me a straight line to work with. We're going to cut from the tab side at 7 1/4 inches. From the tab side at 7 1/4 inches. Okay, 7 1/4. And we're going to cut this down to 9 1/2. I'm going to cut this part off. So cut this down to 9 1/2. Okay. This is piece I. And we want I think we want the tab at top, I think, if I remember right. Oops, that's not a pencil. Piece I. Okay, piece J. Yeah, tab at top. So piece J, we're going to cut the tab off. Okay, we're just going to cut the tab. Where's my straight side? This is my straight side. Okay, I'm just cutting the tab off. Don't need it. Okay. Now we're going to cut this piece down to 9 1/2. Okay, 9 1/2. Where's my cut? Okay, so cut it down to 9 1/2. Okay. And I think, okay, so this is piece J. So let me look here. I think that piece J needs cut down. Not cut down, but Yeah, piece J fits where we left open. So yes, we need to cut that down. Right. See, this is piece I, piece J. Yeah, so we're going to have to. I think it's 6 inches, I think. Yes, 6 inches. Okay. Okay, so piece J gets cut down to 6 inches. Okay, 6 inches. Ooh, that can make a pocket somewhere. And that corner, I should have cut from that corner. Well, I'll just make that my scored corner. Phew. Okay. Piece J, we are going to score at 1/2 inch. 5/8, and then 3/4. Yeah, so this album's going to have a lot more flips and flaps because the other one I wasn't for sure, you know, what I did with some of these pieces. So yeah, we're going to have a lot more interaction with this one. All right. And then piece I on the straight side with tab at top, we are scoring at 1/2 inch. 5/8. And 3/4. All right. So that's piece I and J. Okay, so now we're going to fold on our score lines. Okay. And we're just going to pinch this one up. Okay, and do the same thing with this one. All right, now I do not round these corners. I did round this one. Okay, piece I, piece J. All right, so now grab your piece J. We left this open. This is where piece J fits into. So go ahead and taper just to that score line. Okay. And that should fit right inside there. All right, it does. Yay. Okay. I may round those. I don't think we attach anything. Yeah, I may round those. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to apply your glue to both sides. I don't know which way would be the best way for me to attach it just up to that score line. Do not go over. Okay. All right, there's piece J. So now you're going to open this up. Let's see. Okay. So this piece here, piece I, you just need your 1/2 inch. So I'm going to get my 1/2 inch back again. It attaches right here. Okay, here's our spine. Here's piece your inside of your front cover. This piece is going to go right here. Okay. And do I want to taper? No, I do not want to taper. Oops. Tab at top. Make sure your gussets are up. And just right along where that cover met that gift wrap. Okay, just right along there. Make sure you're lined up. All right. Now let's make our piece K, which piece K might be, I mean, it's a little bit difficult, but I'll go slow. So make sure that you get it, okay? And you're going to make 2 of them because we use one here and one over here as well. So you're going to need a middle file folder, okay? Middle file folder. And I'm just going to take this down to 11.5. And it just winds up being, you know, just a smidgen what we normally kind of been doing, 1/8 of an inch. Taking it down to 11.5 just so to keep my tab in the middle. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is find my middle point, which is 5 3/4. Make a little tick mark. And then take it down to 4 3/4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done this with another one. 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. Just to keep the tab in the middle. We're cutting this down to 9.5 inches. Okay. So I'm going to cut on my 1 mark. And and flip it over and take it down to 9.5, and that should wind up pretty close to my mark that I made, and it did. Okay, throw those pieces away. Remember, you're going to make 2 of these, and we'll use the other one later on. Okay, so they need to mirror each other, or one's going to open this way and your right side's going to open this way. Okay, so you got to be careful how you do this. This is going to be, oh wait, this has to be my left side. Okay, because the pocket's here. Okay, so this is my left side one, and I'll make the right side one. Okay, so you gotta be careful when you're doing this. Okay, so from the tab side, you want your fold in the middle. From your tab side, we're going to score at 5 inches, 5 1/8, 5 1/4, and this is from the tab side. Okay. Then from the inset tab side, we're going to score at 4 1/4. Okay. 4 1/8, and 4 1/2. Okay. So now you're going to fold on your marks. I'm folding towards the bumpy side. Okay. And they are a little bit hard to get that. Okay. And just pinch that middle one up. So you'll just make one, make one, and then when you make the other one, make sure that it mirrors. And if you need to make kind of a new score line, so be it. You want to keep it straight. Okay, so I had to kind of make a little bit of a new score line, but you want to keep the whole thing straight. Okay, so now I'm going to fold again towards the bumpy side. Keep her straight. If you have to make a new score line, so be it. Okay, now I need to get this score line. Okay. And then just pinch that middle one up. Okay, there's what it should look like. Folding it like a W. Okay. Now we need this to mirror. This is my left side one. Okay. So this one's going to go here since the pocket is here. So this one's going to go over here. Okay, so we got to be careful. You want your tab side out, and then your inset tab is what's going to glue down for a pocket. Okay. So now you're going to kind of flatten. Okay, you're going to flatten these back out to that very first score line. sure your gussets are all up. Okay, you're just making sure all your gussets are up. Okay, make sure, oops. Okay, my gussets are now up. Okay, now I want to make sure my gussets are all up on this piece. So I need to okay, just put your gussets all up. Okay, there's what gussets are all up here. My gussets are all up here. It's still folded like a W. Okay, I got my tab on top. So whichever way you want it, whichever one you're making for, you just gotta be, that's how you can see this one's gonna open like this. So here's my pocket. I'm gonna angle a cut. This one opens from this way, so I'm angling my cut here. Okay, they need to mirror each other, so make them together so you can, you know, make one, the other one is opposite. Okay, now with your gussets all up, these should, where that gusset ends, this is where this one begins. Okay, do you see that? We're gonna glue this down to this. I'm gonna glue here in the bottom. Okay, so that glues, and then we're going to have a pocket in the inside. Okay, so make sure your gussets are all up. They should line right up. Okay, they should line up. Now I'm going to open. Okay, we're gluing, I think the shorter piece is what I'm gluing, 4 inches. This one here is 4, but it's got the gusset right here. My gusset's on top here. My gusset's right here. Okay, you want the inset tab side down. Okay, so I'm just gonna, and you gotta be careful when you open it up because this piece is bigger. So just open it up. And you're gonna glue this. You're gonna glue the bottom. And we're gluing this side. Okay. So I'm gonna open it back. Now put it down. Give her a good burnish. This piece I need to go just a okay, so we glued this right on top of this is what we done. So now we have that middle piece glued. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. Now I'm going to measure. Yeah, you may have to stop and start. This is a little confusing. Hopefully I done it right to show you. Measure 3 inches up, make you a little tick mark. Okay, so now from the very first score line, and I'm going to turn it this way so I can see my score line. From the score line to your little tick mark, draw you a line. Now I want to make sure I'm right. Okay, I want to make sure I'm right. Okay, there's my line to cut off. Oops, geez Louise. Disaster area. Okay, so now I'm just gonna be careful cutting. Open it up. You don't want to be cutting this piece back here. Plus, we use this piece that we're cutting off. Come on. Just up to that point. See, now we have a pocket. I mean, it's not a very big pocket, but we can fit some tags in there. Okay. Now, this piece here, cut it right down the center, right down that natural fold line. Okay. So these pieces are going to go here and here. But we'll need to decorate before we attach these pieces on here. Okay. And this one here will have to be cut just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to round my corners. Okay. Did I cut that wrong? No. I was about to have a heart attack. I thought I cut it wrong. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to label this one piece K. This is the right side one. And I'll put these pieces right here, because we'll need to decorate before we glue those on. Now the other one I didn't decorate. I used spider webs, you know, and see, I used a spider web. I didn't decorate that part. You know, I decorated a little bit, but you know. And then I can put tags in here, which I don't have none in this one. All right. So I need the left one. All right. This is going to attach right on top of piece J. Be mindful you have a gusset here. So, I don't know if it should be better. Yeah. So be very mindful of your gusset. This is going to go right along. You're going to line it right up with that very last score line. And you're gluing this piece down here. So you need to check it. Make sure that she's lined up with piece J. Okay, you don't want nothing sticking over. Do I want to round this? Because now's the time to decide. I didn't in my other one, but I think I do in this one. Well, maybe not the pocket, but I am going to round these. Yeah, I'm not going to round the pocket. I want it to be... Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to glue 3 sides and then glue this down. Just make sure that you are not attaching this on that 1/4 inch gusset. It has to be that very last score line. Okay? Very important. I'm going to take this paper clip. Okay. Make sure your gusset on this piece is all up. Only thing you want is this 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4. It's the only thing that you want down. Okay. So now I'm just going to attach my glue. Apply my glue. Attach. Yeah, let's attach our glue. All right. It's right up against that score line. All right. Okay, do we want to attach these yet? Oh, piece J. We better get that back. Okay, piece J. So these pieces are going on the inside right here. But I really like to decorate with paper. Since I don't have no spider webs or anything like that. Should we decorate with paper? Well, let's go ahead and get our other element on here that needs to go on top. Okay. Piece I. Middle file folder. Okay. Middle file folder. Now I kept the, again, I'm keeping the tab in the middle, so I'm going to take it down to 11.5, which just winds up being just a smidgen off, like 1/8 of an inch. Okay, just like we've done before. We're taking this file folder down to 9.5. So 5 3/4 is my middle, and then 4 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 3/4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. Okay. That gets my, keeps my tab in the middle. Take it down to 9.5 inches. Okay. Throw those pieces away. Now, from the inset tab side, we're going to cut at 5 3/4. Inset tab side, 5 3/4. Okay, 5 3/4. Okay, same thing with the tab side, 5 3/4. So 5 3/4, 1/2 inch, so 5 1/4. Right? And 1/2 inch. Yes. Now what you're going to do is score 1/2 inch. Or we're going to have a lot of pieces left over to use. Probably won't use all of them, but we'll use a good bulk of them. Okay, score 1/2 inch on the straight edge. Now, I'll make sure the tab is in the middle. It's a little, maybe I need to turn that one around. Close enough. Okay. So now I'm going to fold towards the bumpy. And this one I'm going to fold towards the other way, because I want to keep my tab like that. Okay. So the inset tab one is piece S and piece T. Okay. Now I did round the corners. Okay. I should have been stating on these what these were left over from. Crap. Okay. Piece S attaches on top of piece I. Okay. So be mindful of your gusset. You have a gusset there. So be mindful that you do not glue this down to your gusset. Okay. Do not pass go. Playing Monopoly now. Okay, make sure you're lined up with your top and bottom. Okay, piece T attaches right on top. And I think I'm going to go, well, do we want to just, my other one I lined it right up with the other one. Yeah, because otherwise your tab is a little bit off. So right on top. Right on top. Attaching it the same spot that you just attached T. That way your tabs stay lined up. Okay. And piece I. There we go. Alright, so this piece we just cut off. We could put that on the back side of here. Alright. So we got a couple more things, I think just pockets, but I think those are left over from this side over here. Okay. We have, be nice to get, you know, piece K. If we could have just a piece over here to kind of coordinate. I don't know. I guess I need to be deciding. Yeah, this one's a little bit different because we have the maroon here, where my other one was all, well, I guess the inside here was black file folders, and then maroon or manila ones over here. All right, that is it for this class. The next class, we will work on getting this side constructed, and it's a lot like this side. Okay. All right. That's it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next class. As always, keep scrapping. Bye-bye.